Okay, hopefully it doesn't. It stopped malfunctioning. I have no idea what is happening. Yesterday it was also malfunctioning. Yesterday it was also malfunctioning. But I can hear that the quality is bad. I'm trying to fix it. La 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 la. Ay ay. La 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 la. La 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 la. Okay, I think it's working better now. I think it's working better, but I will test in a second. Testing sound. I hope you won't destroy my stream again, you stupid mic. For a second I thought that the cracking sound was from the mic, but apparently cracking sound is okay. Because they are having campfire. Okay, load, what we are
Of the
doing.
few refugees who make it to Everlight, many are shocked to find that their troubles do not end there. Though its neutrality as a city-state left it largely unscathed during the Mage Wars, the city has its own mountain of problems to struggle with. The biggest ones being the ever-growing gap between the rich and the poor, an uncontrollable rise in crime, and the Purity of Light's aggressive crusade for new followers.
I have to remember to look into audio drivers today. feel the quality of the sound seems to fluctuate. I don't know what the rule here. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's nah. Like, should I be really close to the mic, or can I sit here and just talk? Like, hello, la 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 la. I guess it's good now. Maybe it's dependable on some frequency issues.
Ah, there you are. So, where is that slaughterhouse?
Hey, why was I muted? I was pretty sure I unmuted. Did I say something that muted me?
I'll show you. Follow me.
Okay, I've been thinking. It's probably best if we try to maintain cover as long as possible. The sooner we start the killing, the more likely it is that their leader will get away.
What do you suggest then?
Simple. Tell the guards that I'm your prisoner, and that you brought me to the hideout for slaughter. If we do it right, then we might be able to get to the butcher without raising suspicion.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
Hey! Look at us.
Hello, boys. I've brought you something for the butcher. That's the greenskin who's been sticking his nose into our business.
Ah, right. That one. Why haven't you killed him yet?
Because I thought the boss would want to have a word with him.
Aye. I guess he would. So, what's your business?
I'm here for the produce. Didn't I just tell you? I'm here for the produce. I'm here for the meat. Produce?
I'm here for the produce.
Great. Come on in then. And make that fucking animal suffer, will you?
Though Everlight is one of the few Nortandian cities with a multiracial population, non-humans are usually met with hostility and prejudice. While there have not yet been any big outbreaks of violence, it is not unusual to find a robbed and beaten-up elf in the Mud District's alleys. Due to their imposing physique, orcs were targeted less often. Until now.
Racism! Fantasy racism!
Here we are. Now let's find the butcher.
I can't wait.
Corporal?
So, what's the
A
plan?
fine plan.
Ah, we are not fighting them? I thought they are enemies. I even attacked them.
Sure.
well, if they're not attacking me, I won't ask for being attacked.
Sounds like a plan.
By the... an orc?
That way?
Just get up.
Sure.
You got it.
I have one second left. Into the roof.
Understood.
I'll take a look. Let me see.
So, I'm guessing you're the butcher.
And I'm guessing you're not here for a nice, crispy piece of orc meat, are you? No, don't say anything. I can feel it. You're the one who butchered my people near the mine, aren't you? And you, orc, are the little detective who tried to expose my business. I guess I should thank you for coming. That saves me the trouble of tracking you down.
Balrak, you're an orc.
Well observed, scum.
I don't get it. Why would you do this? Orchestrate a genocide of your own kind?
My kind? The kind that killed my father just because he refused to take part in slaughtering the neighboring clan for the struggle's sake? The kind that banished a little orcish boy and his sister without as much as one day's worth of provisions? Fuck my kind. The orcs have treated me and my family like stray dogs, and I'm only returning the favor.
Yeah, there are other ways for revenge also. How do you know that the orc that you, slaughtered and sold as meat didn't have the same circumstances as you?
If your clan mistreated you, there are other ways of getting back at them.
Oh, are there? Such as burning a Zarek effigy? Stealing a barrel of beer from them? No. Our culture is as rotten as your corpses will be 2 weeks from now. Every orc who still lives according to this nonsense deserves to die. The more gruesomely, the better.
Ooh. Religious hatred? A bit? Also? This is insanity.
Blazes. Murdering orcs and selling them to humans? This is insane.
I call it poetic justice.
There's no point. He's lost his mind.
See, that's where you're wrong. My mind has never been clearer. Your culture is a cancerous growth and needs to be removed from this world's tissue.
Okay, we have to fight. I heard enough.
I've heard enough. This ends here.
With pleasure. Get them, boys. Fresh meat.
Ay, 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 ay.
I'll feed your bloody corpse to the dogs!
Healing. Need. They killed one of our heroes.
I need help over here. Damn it!
Where are we dying?
I need healing.
This way, right? Alright, why not?
Damn it! I need.
We don't have healing! That's the problem!
Got it.
Blasted armor.
Come on. Don't die on us now.
They killed one of our heroes.
I'll keep you. All right.
That's the way. This way, right?
Heaven's rains. I'll never get used to that.
Blasted armor. More fighting. Does this never end? Please!
Healing. Need. Healing.
Blazes. That was unexpected.
Huh?
Wrong place, wrong time.
Damn it! I need healing.
They killed one of our heroes.
Damn it!
I need help over here.
Fine.
All right, here goes nothing.
All right.
Now, don't die on me, will you? We need you.
Highwaymen.
Sure.
What's next?
Get ready.
Pointless. Fun. Your struggle is pointless.
Alright, why not?
More law.
Here we go.
Cutthroat. Take them down.
Let's see what we can do.
I'll keep you shielded!
a bit annoying. I can customize the user interface. There's no way to do anything. Now I have access to kick out some of the others.
Wrong place, wrong
Ben. It's up ahead.
Huh? Let's see.
Let's see.
Huh. Intriguing.
Now would you look at that?
Look at
More
that,
cutthroats.
boys.
Take them down.
That way?
Also, some neighborhood. Ah,
Sounds like a plan.
More lost souls.
Highwaymen.
What a pleasant surprise. Danger up ahead.
Whatever's necessary.
welcome, Lucy. Hello, how are you today? The first one. Oh, you're open house. Maybe. Maybe. I'm good. How about yourself? I am fine, actually. I am technically at work. Sometimes I may look quiet. There is not much work, but sometimes there will pop up. I need to check it. Even if I don't have to do anything, I have to check.
Yes, of course.
Look at that, boys. We're in for some fun.
More cutthroats. Take them down.
Let us make this quick.
Okay, we killed the butcher.
Huh?
And it's over. Zarek's fangs. This was madness.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I guess it's best if we forget about this as fast as we can. Either way, I will be forever grateful for what you did for me today. Before you go, please, take this. It's the least I can do after you risked your life for my kind. Also, listen, Tahar. Earlier on, you mentioned something about an army that you command. Was that a metaphor?
It's in the making. Why?
I, was wondering if you'd allow me to join you.
Why?
Wait, didn't you say that you're a well-respected architect in your tribe? Why would you want to join me?
Well, I wasn't entirely honest. I'm not just an architect. I'm also the firstborn son of Naris, the High Chieftain of the Duskkin. I don't want to bore you with endless stories, so I'll make it short. My little brother Rak was gifted and destined to be a shaman. And to become a shaman, one needs to pass a trial by Zarek. I had heard talk about it, about how many young orcs die taking it. And the thought of losing my brother, I just couldn't bear it.
So, what did you do?
I kidnapped him. It was
What?
foolish, and I got caught a day after we left the cow. My father sent me into exile as a punishment for defying Zarek. All this, me trying to save these orcs from slaughter. Maybe it's my way of repenting for what I've done, but I don't want to talk about it more than I have to. I just can't go back yet.
This guy is a really good guy. Look at him. He just wants to protect his brother. But kidnapping was a bit weird. I suspect that brother didn't want to go with him. Actually, I'm not looking for new recruits. Fine, you can come.
Well, if you're an architect, your talents might actually come in handy. If you want to join, bring that evidence to the guard, and then join me at the border.
I will do that. Thank you, Tahar. I appreciate it. And I promise I won't be a burden. May your blood never boil. We'll talk later.
But it's a bit ironic, this entire quest. Like,
These rains. I don't even know what to say.
first we learn that there is an illegal business of kidnapping orcs and selling their meat on the market as if they were wyvern meat. Then we go to learn who that guy is who's selling orc meat. He turns out to be an orc. He tells us a sad story about how he hates his culture and that his family was mistreated by other orcs and he was kicked out of the tribe with his sister when they were kids and nothing to their name. So he decided to take revenge by killing all the orcs and destroying their religion because he hates it. And now we have this guy, who confronted the other guy. But he is also the one who suffered from the issues within their culture.
Yes?
Now I have to do the same armor. Maybe they will come in handy. Like, I picked it for this guy, but I forgot that he has an armor that actually gives him a cooldown booster. Less 50% to cooldowns on this and that. I will find it. But he's not very well protected. Maybe we can live with cooldown. Okay. Mercenary mode. Fielding. Do you need a mojo? Ooh, you get a mojo. Everybody gets a mojo.
Fine.
Anyway, still, it was a little bit disgusting. A lot of disgusting what was happening in this city. Who is insane enough to sell orc meat as wyvern meat. It's as if someone was killing humans and then selling human meat as chicken. This is the same level of insane. I forgot about those guys. Well, they're dead. They weren't living for a long time. Their lives were too short. Do I feel bad about it? No. Why should I? Where's my orc? I guess we went.
Humans butchering orcs for their meat. And here I thought I'd seen everything.
It does sound peculiar, yes.
No shit. No shit, man. No shit, man. Why people are arriving now? Hey, are you available now?
As you want.
Technically, yes. Actually, no.
We should get moving.
A fine plan.
Fine plan? We have no plan. We are living without plan. Please plan.
Sure.
Will do.
Fine.
Where am I going? Here. Supposed to go here. This city is complicated.
Sounds like a plan.
You would like to travel to Everlight Town? Yes. Why not?
As a free city, Everlight's leadership is not chosen by the right of blood, but elected by the town's nobility. The most recent mayor, Fulan Argal, has been in power for over 7 years now, and is known for his endeavors to drastically reduce crime.
They have democracy? I mean, democracy for noble. Like, the nobles are choosing the leader. I guess they are voting? It's not the true democracy because peasants are not included, but baby steps.
Huh. Interesting.
The door is closed shut. The mayor cast you a personal. I'm sorry,
Let's
I am
see.
robbing your place. Did I find a book? What is just no name? I didn't notice what was the thing I found. I am stupid and protect the inventory I am stealing.
Well, well, if it isn't the notorious betrayer's child. I always wondered what you look like. I had something different in mind. I'm Fulan Argal, Mayor of Everlight. Pleased to make your acquaintance. But let us cut to the chase, shall we? Clara has told me you're looking for an ally. One that can help you put an end to the blood burn.
Yes. How do you know Clara?
For a simple village mayor, Clara has a lot of friends in high places.
Simple village mayor. Is that who she is now? Amusing.
Well, who is she?
Someone who was once very powerful but decided to quit.
Ooh.
That's all I can tell you without her consent.
Okay. What else did she tell you?
What else did she tell you?
Not much I didn't already know. Who you are, and your involvement in the Mage Wars. And before you say any more, I don't want to know.
You don't?
No. The less I know, the less dangerous our cooperation is for me. Also, I fully trust Clara's judgment. If she thinks you're worthy of our support, then so do I.
Okay, that sounded sus. A bit. Are you like a secret organization? Are you SHIELD? Marvel reference. So, can you help us?
So, can you help us?
I believe I can. Let me introduce you to the Wayfarers. Come on in. Tahar, this is Rowan, leader of the Wayfarers, one of the most able mercenary groups on EO.
Rohan?
Rowan?
Tahar. Tiara's breath.
What?
I take it you were acquainted already?
This man used to be my father's right hand during the Mage Wars. He was the one who told him of my plans to leave the rebels.
Interesting.
Don't act so surprised, Argal. You knew of my past. And you also know that I'm the only reason this war is over.
If I hadn't told the Crown of Asamo's attack on the keep, he would have won. So yes, Tahar, you're right. I told Asamo about your betrayal. But ever since then, I've tried to repent.
Uh-huh. And how are you doing now, right now? That doesn't bring our friends back to life, does it? Seems that everybody's busy repenting these days. Wait.
That doesn't bring Zane or Helena back to life.
Look, you're angry. And after what I did, you have all the right to be. But this is not the time for discussion. You need an ally, and we're all you're going to get. So, please, let us just put this behind us, even if it's just for now. Let the Wayfarers help you.
Okay. It will not take long. I was thinking nobody would need any. Oh, okay. Hello, Arachna, how are you? Wait, this is Martha's question. Don't warn yourself. Oh. Did you really warn the royal army of my father's attack, right?
So you warned the royal army of the attack?
Yes. It took me some time to realize how rotten our movement had become. But when I did, I acted. Just like you.
But please, I can tell you all about this, but not now, not here.
Okay, who are the Wayfarers?
Who in blazes are the Wayfarers?
Mercenaries, as Argal said. I founded them right after the war.
Mercenaries?
Yes. But that's just how we pay for our shelter and our food. Most of the time, the Wayfarers are helping people. Refugees, farmers, homeless. We're protecting those who the Crown has forgotten.
Very poetic. And how do I know you're telling the truth?
He is.
Thanks. Look, Tahar, I know I messed up. I served a monster for over 6 years of my life. But I regret it. And I'm trying to make amends.
What can you offer?
So this army of yours, what can you offer?
Knowledge, tactics, swords. Whatever it is you and the Harbinger need to end the Bloodburn, we'll help you.
Oh, wait, there are mercenaries. Do we have money to pay them? I don't have money to pay you.
I can't afford an army of mercenaries. I'd have to ask the Purity for support first.
You don't. I will cover all the expenses.
You? Why?
As I said, I owe Clara. Also, it's not as if my wealth and my power protect me from the Bloodburn, do they? Clara has a lot of faith in you, and even though I'm skeptical about the Purity's involvement in your mission, I trust Clara's judgment.
It's fine, but we have a lot to talk about.
Fine, but we'll have a lot to talk about, Rowan.
Yes, I know.
Well, that's settled then. But as much as I appreciate your presence, I would like you, Rowan, to hear, and your soldiers, to leave this city as soon as possible. An army this size of the Wayfarers will draw the Royal Army's attention sooner or later. And that's something neither of us want to happen.
Right. I'll see you around then.
Oh wait, what happened? Select Mulandir next to visit the world map button to travel directly to your base of operations in Mulandir. Oh yeah, I got another guy. That's why he told me to choose you. What's your specialty, man? Primal magic. Lovely. I have no idea what it does. Elementalism. I went fire, maybe you should go ice. That. Some of them are earthquake in a target area that severely damages individuals. Okay. Okay. What do you use, Mr. Dexterity and... Okay, this is a weapon ability. Intelligence. Constitution. Intelligence. Willpower. Constitution. Okay, so he needs Constitution, Willpower, and Intelligence. is high maintenance. Okay, hopefully now I'm trying to gather them from someone, but we are having issues. Why I got disconnected? There's another connection of me? Where? How? Impossible.
I'll keep you shielded.
Fair enough. Let's do this.
As you require.
Fine. More fighting.
I will do as I must.
Does this never end?
I wonder which companions are the best to have with you. If I am battle mage, Iria is a bow user, Iskrim is a typical warrior. Who's tank? And Undercast is like a mage but of different type than me. He also has some healing abilities that Iria does. Talk to the mayor. I know that Rohan can now join my party, but he doesn't have to right now.
If it isn't the pariah. I didn't expect you back so soon. What do you need?
I'm here because I came across a victim of bloodburn. One of the farmers in the outskirts seems to exhibit symptoms of late-stage bloodburn. I think it's best if your men look into that.
Bloodburn. I see. Thank you for reporting this to me. Learning more about this blasted disease is a difficult task. If more people were so quick to report the cases, we'd surely know more about it by now. Here's a small token of gratitude for your diligence. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Reward. We now have only main quest pending and quests in other 3 locations. Also, we have to return to Molandir to talk with Rohan. Would you like to travel to Molandir next? Why not?
So, this'll be our base, won't it?
I guess so, yes.
Nihalv's hammer. How about a tad more enthusiasm? We're in the ancient city of the Shapers. If anything, we should feel honored.
Well, let's just hope the city's defenses work better for us than they did for them.
Congratulations, you have found Molandir, the sacred city of the Shapers, and your base of operations. During your journey, you will meet new people and factions who may join your battle against the Bloodburn. All of them will make camp here, so be sure to talk to them every once in a while. Some can be traded with or offer unique upgrades to your army. Cool, great. Why suddenly everyone wants to talk?
You got it.
Wait,
This way, right?
Oh, this is the guy I recruited.
I'll take a look.
Finally out of this blasted city. What a mess.
How are you settling in?
Well, I'm still trying to get used to the idea that I'll be working in an old Shaper ruin from now on. Either way, I promised you my help, and here I am. Give me some material and some coin, and I promise you that I'll fabricate the finest weapons and armors you have ever seen.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Want to trade?
Why are you selling them to me? You're supposed to make them, not sell them.
Farewell.
Oh, there's another NPC here. Our orc friend is here. Hello, man. How are you doing?
So, this is your place. Huh. Interesting. I like the architecture. It has grace.
You like it?
Yes, imagine an orc who isn't all about pikes and spikes. Anyway, you haven't gotten orcs to join your cause yet, so until then, there isn't much I can do for you. But I'll familiarize myself with the place in the meantime.
Cool. Let's see where all my NPC friends are located at. I specifically destroyed every monster in Molandir.
Blasted armor.
I scream. This is cardio. You have to deal with it. That is the big one. I see nobody here, but these buildings look elven, so I suspect there will be some elven energy.
Yes, of course.
Oh wait, I didn't have to go.
Interesting.
Ellen's Reigns. What a journey. But I must admit, this city is a marvel. Such beauty. It almost makes me forget the reason I'm here.
Are you still, heartbroken?
I shall forever be heartbroken. But none of that matters anymore. If the fire in her heart does not burn as brightly for me as mine does for her, then so be it. Tell me, do you mind if I stick around for a while longer? Iskander isn't safe these days, especially not for a vagabond elf. And there's no way on Io I'm going back into that accursed city. Even if the darkest alleys of Everlight carry her flowery scent, even the most mischievous of voices whisper her lovely words, even...
Maybe you could even help us out with your skills.
Of course. Though there aren't many elves around yet that I could help, don't you think?
That will change. Just set up your forge around here somewhere.
I will. Goodbye, Tahar, and thank you again for being there when my heart needed mending.
Okay, cool. I'm happy that you are doing better.
What a beautiful place you found yourself here. Hard to believe that it was right in Iskander territory all this time. As promised, I'll set up shop around here somewhere. My contacts should still be able to get some good wares from Greyfell and Everlight. And, of course, I'll give you a big discount.
Thanks.
Ah, another one that wants
Good choice.
That way? You got it.
Okay. Let's talk to my betraying friendo. Mr.
Tiara's breath. You haven't promised too much to Har. This place is incredible.
Just wait until you see it in action.
Just don't forget we're here for a purpose.
I won't. I'll go talk to Flynn now. We need to find a good place to set up camp. And, if you want to talk, you know, about the past, then feel free to come by.
Hey! Humans unlocked. Commander. I am now a commander.
In any case, with our new allies, we should be able to go look for the stones.
Yeah, I know. Ooh, witch hunters like man. Ooh, excellent. Channel flame. Wait a sec. I did get an ability point, but I didn't get this. I need the upgrade here. Attribute, give me attribute update. You asked? Oh, I want to wear this armor, but I need Constitution 7. But I have Constitution, no, 7. Constitution 4. I need 1 point. Give me 1 point. Why are you punishing me like this? Immune to interruption, immune to silence, immune to purge, immune to knockback. And our ability cost reduction. This is really good plate armor. I want it. This is hard. You can also write this down. No, this answer. But this plate is so full. And he can wear it. But I would have to sacrifice my new armor. But the only, you know what? The only improvement on this armor is then more of this attribute. Like, magical resistance. Maybe I should invest in this guy's armor. Feed it to him. Look, you look beautiful, man. Look at you. Now only I need 1 constitution point to wear this armor and I will be happy. What is that? Single target mallet. Deal massive damage to a building. Lock. Temporary applies hasten to yourself and grants you immunity against stun. Gain increased focus regeneration when you are below 50%. And what is this? Perk. Gain additional focus point. Next level, encourage, repair, Alan. This is some kind of leadership ability. The target building workers assigned to this building will gather resources faster. Repair target building by applying a heal over time effect. Area effect, nature magic, restore wood in the target area. Reduce the item cost for everything you buy? Jeez. Investing in leaders. Man, did you get 1 point? What are you going to do now? Regenerate your focus. Oh. Yay! What can I give you, man? Learn available. Your health potions are more effective when you use them. You need it desperately. This guy nearly has all the abilities nailed. There is barely anything I can give him. Hey man, what do you want to do with your newfound ability? He can infuse water with ice. Good, he went ice then. He get boom to elemental punch. You get interrupted. You will need it. You talk.
Huh? Ah, Tahar.
Do you know anything about the Godstone?
I remember that back in the rebellion, ancient relics such as godstones were your specialty. Is there anything interesting you could tell me about them?
Interesting? That depends on what you mean by that. I mean, it goes without saying that what this rune allows us to do is beyond fascinating. Apart from that, I could only tell you the things you already know. How both the Hibernians and Shapers worshipped them and harnessed their magic. But that's about it.
How did you end up founding the Wayfarer?
So, regarding the Wayfarers, you said you founded them to make amends. Is that true? And if yes, how did you found them?
Yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said it.
As to how I formed them, it's a long story. And maybe one we should save for later.
Okay, I want to talk about my father.
I want to talk about my father.
I figured you'd want to eventually. What is it you want to know?
Was he really insane?
Do you think it's true? That he was simply crazy?
Towards the end, yes. He had certainly lost his sanity. But before that, I still don't know. I've said it before, but there's one part of me that likes to think he was a madman to begin with. And then there's the other voice that tells me that he was merely a visionary who had lost his way. But if there's one thing I know, it's that he was a leader. Whenever he spoke to us, it was electric. To this day, I've never seen someone with his charisma.
You sound almost nostalgic.
Nostalgic? No. It's just... I've never met someone with that energy. You have some of it, Tahar. I only started to realize that here. But most of it is still asleep.
Okay. Are he and I alike?
This might sound strange, but do you see any resemblance between him and me?
Interesting that you ask. Yes, there were moments where I could not help but notice that certain... something that strongly reminds me of your father.
Could you be a bit more specific?
Well, I think that the best way to describe it is a sort of look in your eyes. It's somehow distant, but at the same time driven and intense. And it can be both intimidating and charismatic. I believe that it's this energy that helped your father rally the noble houses and all these mages behind him. And ironic as it may be, it might help you with our cause too.
Okay. What was he like before the war?
My father never told me of how he grew up. Do you know anything about that?
About his childhood? I'm afraid not. He shared some fragments of his past with me, but probably no more than he shared with you.
Okay, I want to ask something else.
Let's discuss something else.
Seems your men have made themselves comfortable.
Seems your men have made themselves comfortable.
Yeah, they have. But blazes, Tahar. I know I've said it before, but this place is incredible. It's also a very good base of operations. Should we make enemies, and I hope it doesn't come to that, we're well prepared. But I'm guessing that's not what you came here for. You want to talk, right? About what I did 8 years ago?
8 years ago? Do you really regret?
Actually, I just want to know if what you said in Everlight is true. Do you regret fighting in the Mage Rebellion?
The big question. I guess the answer is mostly yes and partially no. I do not regret standing up for what your father claimed to be fighting for. But what I do regret is not seeing what he really was earlier. Look, Tahar. Seeing Zane and Helena die. Thinking that the same would happen to you, it killed me. But back then, I was just too blind. I still believed your father was doing good, and that you three were misguided.
Why did you betray me?
Why did you do it? Why did you tell my father about my plan?
Well, what do you want me to say? I did it because back then, I still believed in your father's vision. What you, Zane, and Helena were going to do, it just seemed, I don't know, wrong. But that doesn't mean it was an easy decision. Also, I didn't think he'd execute you. Probably naive, I know, but it's the truth. You see, I joined Asamo because there was truth in his words. The masks, the pikes, all that hatred against us defilers that the purity of light is spreading now. It was all already there. The people always feared us, simply because we were different. Because we are better than they. Your father, he knew something like that would happen eventually. So he stood up and tried to stop it before it was too late. At least that's what he said. And to be honest, I still don't know if he only lost that vision, or had never had it to begin with.
The hatred was always there?
I can't believe you're saying this. The reason people hate us mages now is because of what my father did. He confirmed their fears for them by starting this goddamn war.
Oh, really? And what about all that shit that happened beforehand? The witch burnings, mages driven out of the cities, gifted children abandoned by their mothers.
The guy has a lot... He has a point. Like, to this moment, the commander, the Tahar, was assuming that the hatred towards mages was invoked by her father's cruelty. But the truth is that people feared mages for years, and what he did only confirmed their bias. Like, they were waiting for someone who was gifted with magic to do something like this in order to use it as an excuse. And if nobody did that, they would fabricate one if they needed. Because that's how oppressive forces work. If they don't have an excuse to kill you, they will fabricate one. And then kill you again. Like, kill you anyway, not again. Anyway. You can't win with oppression. I can see to some extent why the whole mage rebellion happened, mage wars, but Isamu Tahar was doing something more than that. He was doing something evil on the side. Also, I disagree with Rohan that mages are better. I feel like he used the wrong word. If he said different, like, we have special gifts that others don't, it doesn't make them better. It just makes them different. It makes them have those gifts that those other people envy. And recently I saw a TikTok video that explained it very well. That the whole X-Men analogy only works because X-Men have power. Like, people like to misconstrue the entire X-Men idea and say that actually regular humans are oppressed because X-Men have power and can destroy the world. That's not the analogy there. The X-Men are the oppressed class, no matter how powerful they are. Not to mention that only a few of them are really powerful and the rest are like mediocre. Like, someone can, like, I don't know, heat a water in a mug and that's their power. But they are still oppressed as a group, or like the existence of one powerful mutant or two or three. And the analogy that person was making the video said that the analogy only works when the X-Men have powers because the people who want to oppress others usually ascribe to those groups some kind of virtue that they don't have, but envy. Like, when white people often hate on black people and treat them as lesser, but at the same time, then they envy them the perceived advantages, like some talent or biological advantages they have. And then they use that excuse to, instead of be in awe and celebrate them, they use it and they twist it to oppress them. They use this thing that they perceive them to have and say, see, they have this thing and they can use it against us whenever they want, so we have to destroy them. And that's completely bonkers logic. It's a lack of logic in this type of thinking that gets me. Because of the mere possibility that someone can do something, people can use it as an excuse to destroy them. Because we are better.
Did you just say because we are better?
Yes, better. How else should I say it? We cast fire from our hands, heal wounds with a mere thought, so how would you call it? I call it superior. And the ungifted know it as well as we do. But does that mean that we want to kill them? No. We're not animals, we're people, just like they are. Only that we are the lions and they are the cats. We didn't choose to be that way, but it's what nature chose for us.
I still don't like his language. Because when he uses words like better and superior, he's inadvertently falling into the trap of this kind of thinking. And if he keeps saying it aloud, other people will hear. And other people, even if he doesn't do anything, if other people hear him using that language and they internalize it, if they take that language into their hearts, some crazy bastard will start going around and killing regular people saying that we mages are superior and you don't deserve to live. This is the same type of thinking that regular people are using. Just the regular people are using the gifts of magic as an excuse to kill other people. Yeah, internalize, thank you. I lost like one syllable. I mean, he is doing exactly the same what the villagers that don't have magic are doing. Like, the only difference is that villagers see the magic and they're like, see, they have nukes, they will kill us. And he's doing the opposite. He's doing, we are better, why should we let them live? But he's not doing that. Like, he didn't go that far. But there will be someone who will. It is a terrible word to pronounce. I knew the word, I just needed to see it written down right now when I was talking. I usually don't have issues with pronunciation, but I really needed it to written down right now. So yeah, when you use words like be better or superior, you're not really that far from going the whole Aryan race idea and be like, our race is the better race and your race is the worst race, therefore your race deserves to die. I am not laughing. I am scoffing. I am laughing. But I am not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's ridiculous, and stupid, and bad, and evil. I don't agree with the analogy between cats and tigers, because cats and tigers belong to the same family of animals. They are the same, but they are different. So his analogy about cats and tigers is far better than him saying better or superior. Like, his analogy about cats and tigers is better. It doesn't imply superiority or inferiority because both of those animals are cats. The one is just bigger than the other. Okay, you're still rationalizing. I mean, he is rationalizing just a little bit. I hate my mouse. Hate my mouse.
I don't know. But to me, it sounds like you're still trying to justify what you did in that war.
That's where you're wrong. It's not all black and white, Tahar. And you of all people should know that. I know I made mistakes. And I've spent the past 7 years making amends. What else do you think the Wayfarers are for? Why else would I have left? And look, I do not expect you to forgive me. I don't even know if I could do it if I were in your position.
I was fighting with that task that I was saying I need to only a few minutes to do because my mouse is stopping working and I have only one screen now when I am streaming and I am so annoyed right now. Because it took me ages to find the correct thing. was looking for a log. And because I am using remote desktop connects to other people's computer, I didn't notice that their Windows setup was completely different, that they had like the start menu on the right side of the screen, and it looks like I kept checking my own logs because I am stupid and because that screen that I am using for remote desktop is really not intuitive enough. It's really easy to confuse your desktop with the people's desktop. I hate it here. I wouldn't be standing in one place so long and talking to NPCs, and I was only listening halfway to the NPC talk. If I didn't have to do that stupid task, and if that stupid person didn't have a Windows with... I don't know how people can work on Windows with the fucking start screen on the right side. Like, how? It's so annoying! It should be at the bottom! Why are they even allowed to have it? They shouldn't be. Yeah, I am evil. I would just take away the right to set up their windows. I would just force them all to have the starting bar on the bottom.
Now look at that. The fabled Corporal. Good to finally meet you in person. I'm Flynn, second in command of the Wayfarers. I have to say, for someone who only led a puny Nortander division once, you're doing quite a good job leading an army so far. Not of them saying I couldn't do better, but still. Anyway, if you come to arm our men, I strongly suggest you do so.
But you're armed already, aren't you?
Well, yes, with rusty swords and dented armors. I mean with proper equipment. If you give me the coin, I'll send out orders to my contacts in Everlight. It'll improve our strike force significantly.
Okay. I want to buy some better equipment for the Wayfarer.
I want to buy some better equipment for the Wayfarers.
Music to my ears. What did you have in mind?
Human catapult cost reduction. I am not that rich.
Let me see.
Tell me more about you.
Can you tell me more about you? Rowan seems to think highly of you.
As he should. What do you want to know?
What did you do before the Wayfarers were formed?
What did you do before the Wayfarers were formed?
Depends on how far before we're talking. I did some jobs here and there and then joined the military.
You were in the Royal Army?
You were in the Royal Army?
Yes, I was even part of the Wolf Guard for a year or so.
Really?
Huh?
How come we never met?
Because that was way before your time. I know I don't look it, but I'm quite some years ahead of you, Tahar. I served under General Noria, under Sentenza, before that disaster at the Iskander Fortress.
How come you left?
Well, there were a couple of reasons. In a nutshell, I didn't agree with some of the things Sentenza made us do. So I deserted, just like you.
Nice. The man understands when you have to disobey orders. I'm not a deserter. Well, technically we are not. But also, yes, we are.
Anyway, after I left, I went back into the mercenary business for a while. Then the Mage War broke out, things went to shit, and I went into hiding. Finally, a year ago, I met Rowan, and he told me about his idea. I immediately agreed. Doing good while not being bound to uniforms, orders, and morning drills was something I'd always wanted to do. I simply didn't expect anyone else to share that vision.
What's your job in the waiter? Less of a deserter, more of a deserter. Actually, we disobeyed an order. So, deserter is someone who ran away. But we technically didn't run away, we disobeyed order, were sentenced to death, and then the Harbinger came and took us out from the prison, but it was in secret, so we technically ran away, so technically we are a deserter, it's complicated. What's your job?
So what's your job in the Wayfarers?
Well, let's just say that I know a great deal of people, and I can also handle myself in a fight.
I wanted to ask something else.
That's all for now.
I'm too poor to buy.
Will do, Tahar. And don't forget, fortune favors the man with the crossbow.
Wait, what? Did she say? Why did she say it? What's wrong with that? Oh, there's another NPC, Har.
Well, well, Corporal, you didn't exaggerate. This place is beautiful. Thanks again for giving me this chance. So, let's talk about why you brought me here. I have spoken to some of your commanders, and I think my knowledge can help you. I will need some coin to cover the materials, but it will be affordable. Just let me know if you need anything.
The best wares from Kalea to Nordhammer.
Why? Actually, I have more money now. Before I had only... I was looking at the money of the merchant, not my money. I'm stupid. But if I start buying everything, I will be really poor. Human watchtower, cost reduction, cost reduction, cost reduction. Human fortified watchtower, cost reduction, cost reduction, cost reduction. Are there all stuff that are not cost reduction? I mean, cost reductions are important, but... Here. The entire room conveys a sense of reverence and solitude. Subtle, okay? We still have to talk to my companion. This walking guy, though, I bet he can buy stuff for a waiter now. He didn't have that much.
I want to buy some better equipment for the Wayfarers.
Music to my ears. What did you have in mind?
Okay, human scout, cost reduction. Medic, cost reduction. Keeper, cost reduction. Maybe this. And catapult. I thought that he will mean equipment, but no.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, let's talk to area.
So, this is it, isn't it? Our base of operations?
So it seems.
An ancient Shaper city on a quest to find a cure for the bloodburn. And we're working for the purity of light. Sounds crazy if you say it like that. Just some weeks ago, I thought I'd be in Greyfell now, trying to make a fresh start as an innkeep.
Innkeep? You?
Hey, don't laugh. What's wrong with some honest work after years of defiling on the road? Getting up early in the morning, setting the tables, serving mulled wine and stew to tired, weary souls. Just a simple, honest life.
I wouldn't have guessed. To be honest. No more adventuring then.
So you'd leave it all behind? The adventuring?
You know. People always act as if these decisions are final. The only way to find out how much I'd like that kind of life is by taking a chance, isn't it? And if one day I wake up and find myself in need of a change, I can still pack up my things and hit the road again. Upsides of elven blood. There's plenty of time.
Ah, yeah, because they live longer. Innkeeping can be tiresome.
Innkeeping is fun, until you find yourself on your knees at dawn, cleaning up the puddles of vomit and beer these tired, weary souls left behind when they were done carousing.
Quite the cynic, aren't you?
Yeah. I hope you aren't being forced to stay here. For what it's worth, I like having you around.
For what it's worth, I enjoy your company.
Sure you do. Who else would patch you up after the next monumental battle? Anyway, talk later, shall we? I'm sure you've got battles to prepare.
So she knows she's the healer of the team, but why didn't the...
Corporal? Need anything?
Ah. Could you tell me a bit about your homeland?
Could you tell me a bit about your homeland? Finn and Mir?
Well, it's not my homeland anymore, but yeah, shoot.
What role does magic play in Finn and Mir?
What role does magic play among elves?
It's everywhere. Magic is considered a gift of Ellen, and it defines your standing in every possible way. We may have talked about that already, but the whole council who runs the country is made up of mages. Which is why the Purity will have a hard time finding followers in Finn and Mir, should they ever be naive enough to try.
I doubt that will ever happen.
How is human culture different from elven culture?
How is human culture different from elven culture?
I assume you mean Nortander from Finn and Mir? There isn't one elven culture, as little as there's just the humans. Generally spoken, though, I wouldn't say they're too different. Especially not compared to the orcs. Life is a lot slower, mainly due to our lifespan, and elves are even more defined by tradition than humans. They revere nature and value tradition and rules above all else, and they are extremely aware of what they say, how they say it, and to whom. Which also makes it very easy to offend an elf. I'm an exception in that regard, but that was something my vagrant years taught me. But then again, not all elves are like that. There are some who care as little about Ellen the White Tree and the traditions as a troll cares about his morning toilet.
Hello, Razor Oreo, how are you? Also, I like how Iria just pointed out that asking about how human culture differs from elven culture is a bit insensitive question by saying there is not one elven culture. There is several, actually. But there are some stuff we have in common as elves that are different to humans. And she listed all of those. But she also said that some elves don't care about traditions. Like she said, elves generally tend to care about tradition, what they say, how they say, and to whom they say it. But that there are some elves that don't care at all. That sounds so realistic. I'm doing alright, supposed to pack for my trip, but kinda lazy. I have a really good advice for you. If you pack and you decide to put a movie in the background, so you would have a background to packing, don't put Shrek, any Shrek, especially not Shrek 2. You will not pack at all. What's it like to live for so long?
Elves have a very long lifespan. What's it like to live for so long?
Hard to say, since I don't know what a human body feels like. As an elf, you simply take it for granted. When I first realized how short a human life is during my travels, I was baffled. I've been on this world for 39 years now, and in the elven world, I'm hardly considered an adult. Here, I'd have delivered my 7th child by now. It's strange. That's the best way to describe it. But you know what I eventually came to realize?
Tell me.
That age doesn't necessarily make you wiser. I've talked to 30-year-old humans who understood more of the world than the ancient seers of Finn and Mir. It's all about experiences.
That's actually nice. Not Shrek. I said Shrek. Are you too young to remember that movie? Don't tell me. I agree with Iria. She pointed out something really interesting. That it doesn't matter how long you live. It matters how many experiences you have. And I feel like when she's comparing to regular 30-year-old human that understand more about the world to seers of ancient seers, like ancient seers of Fine and Mir, she does it in a way that suggests that seers of Fine and Mir don't really leave Fine and Mir, or don't have lives of their own. Like, they only probably leave to see the future or something. Maybe self-isolate also, so they have far less experiences with life than humans do. And also it was funny how she was comparing that she is 39 or 37, I don't remember what she said. And in her culture she's considered a child, because usually elven cultures consider 30, 40 years to be a child. But in human culture, she would be an adult with 7 children already. So it's interesting how she makes the comparisons and how she describes them. Someone who was writing this was really thinking everything through. And I love it. This is so insightful. Like, there's so many fantasy stories who assume stuff and don't really delve into stuff that Iria just said. Like, we assume that elves are smart and experienced and wise the longer they live because they have thousands of years behind them. But sometimes those are thousands of years of hikikomori sitting in the basement that doesn't know shit. Let me ask you something else.
Interesting. There was something else I wanted to ask.
Sure. What?
I like Iria. Can I romance her? Can she be my wife? Iria, be my wife. Marry me. Marry me! Why did you join me?
This might sound odd, but why did you join me? It was me the Harbinger wanted.
Why are you asking? If you want me to leave, you can just say it. No hard feelings.
No, I just want to understand. You've been putting yourself in a lot of danger for our cause.
I guess so. Well, I hate to disappoint, but I don't think there's a particular reason. As you pointed out in the prison, I'm a fugitive as much as you are, and my best chance of survival was sticking with you.
It's like watching Frieren. Actually, I was thinking about Frieren when I was talking right now. Because it's hard to say if Frieren is an experienced elf who is wise or not. Because she did some traveling around the world. She knows some stuff better than other people. But she's so dumb in other stuff. Like, and you don't know if she's dumb in those stuff because she spent 1,000 years in a forest doing nothing and gathering herbs. Or she doesn't know that because she's an elf. And elves have different understandings of emotion, connections. Like in Frieren world, the only elf that isn't somehow detached from reality is that guy that they met in the mountains. He actually seemed very upbeat and positive guy. He was so different from Ciri and Frieren, who are reserved. And also, Frieren gives you this vibe of a person who detached herself from the world to avoid getting hurt. So when she loses people, she doesn't feel anything because she detached herself from those people so much on purpose, so when they died, she wouldn't be hurt. And then she went on a 10-year journey that to her was like, for us, 5 minutes in a shop making groceries, doing groceries. And she traveled from those guys for our equivalent of 5-10 minutes, and she got so attached to them that when one of them died, she couldn't take it. Like, she was so distraught. She started regretting that she didn't try to know him better in those 10 minutes of our human equivalent. It's like you met someone amazing in some place, you spent with them 10 minutes, and then they had an accident and died the next day. It's kind of like this. Well, I guess because her whole village was killed and after her master passed, she just isolated herself. I was actually wondering if she wasn't doing the isolation already when she was training with her master. Because in all the memories with Flam, she looked very reserved already. As if she was already actively trying to make separation. It's possible that witnessing her entire village getting destroyed made her numb. Very possible that happened. Though at the same time, there's this one scene when Frieren is standing on a hill looking on a grave. Her face is not visible, so you don't know what she's feeling, but the entire scene looks so lonely and as if she cared. But it's not clear, you know? That scene just makes you think. Okay, tell me about your time on the road.
Tell me about your time on the road. What was it like?
Is that a command, Corporal?
Please? Like I said, Frieren is interesting as a character. The show on its own is really delving into all those questions that you can have. Like what it means to be a hero, what it means to be brave. Like, it's really interesting that, for example, Stark didn't have to train. It's not shown in anime. Nobody has to train, actually, except Fern. Fern trained with Frieren for 10 years, probably, and then they went on the journey. That's the only training that happened in this entire story. Any other character we meet never trains. Even the guy from the mountains. He was not training, he was just doing squats not to freeze. Stark was he was training, but it looked more like daily routine more than a training, like jogging kinda, you know? He already has the skill, he just was doing something to do something. The interesting fact is that he didn't have to have a training montage to defeat the dragon, no. He was already powerful enough to defeat the dragon. The only thing he lacked was bravery. He never fought a monster before. And because he was new at fighting monsters, he also didn't realize that the dragon left because the dragon was scared of him. And how when he was describing that scene, the dragon was cutting houses like butter. I now realized, when I was talking right now, that was probably a behavior that the animal was trying to do to scare him when the animal is scared. Like, a lot of animals, when they are scared, they tend to do behaviors that are aggressive and are supposed to scare you instead. So it like my cat, like my cat. When my cat is scared, she starts waving her paws and her claws and stuff. Like she wants to scare me. So I wouldn't scare her. So that was what the dragon was doing. And Stark was so scared that he was just standing in one place. And the dragon was like, Jesus Christ, I didn't scare this shit. Maybe I will leave. The dragon was so disappointed that his scaring tactic didn't work because he was so scared of Stark and wanted to scare him back. But it didn't work. The dragon also didn't realize that Stark was scared. He just thought that Stark was stoic hero standing in the middle.
Please?
Alright, but I'm afraid there isn't so much to tell. Have you ever been on the road by yourself?
A long time ago, yes? No?
No.
Well, then you probably don't know how wearisome it can get. Sleeping under the stars sounds romantic at first, until you realize that most of the time it's sleeping in the mud, in drizzle. Most of the time, your stomach and your purse are empty, and your feet are full of blisters. And of course, there's the constant danger. Especially if you're traveling on your own.
This is so down to earth description of living on the road. Did you ever have a companion?
Did you ever have a companion?
Some, yeah, but most of it was just temporary. Though there was one I traveled with for longer. Quentin.
How did you meet?
Coincidence. A small town between Finn and Mir and Lar. We played dice together and he cheated. When I called him out on it, he tried to turn tail. But one of the other guests stopped him for me. They wanted to go give him a beating, but I told them to stop. He gave me back my money and we started talking. And, believe it or not, we found that we got along quite well.
So you started traveling together? With a thief?
I wouldn't call him that. He was just young and careless. We ended up traveling for almost a year.
Okay, what was his story?
What was his story? Where was he headed?
Into the blue, same as me. He had quite an interesting task, but I wouldn't feel comfortable sharing it with you, to be honest. He wouldn't want that.
Okay, I see. What was your relationship?
I see. What was your relationship?
You mean... no, we were just friends. He was way too young for my liking, and I think I was too old for him. We were more like sister and brother.
Oh, he was like 20, and you were like 40? Like the equivalent, not the numbers. How did you split up?
So how did you split up? What happened?
Nothing dramatic. We came by a village and decided to rest there for a while. The roads had become quite dangerous due to the mage wars, and we didn't want to go out unprepared. I did some healing for the villagers, and he helped out the local smith. He liked it, and the smith wanted him as an apprentice, so he stayed. I was surprised and a bit hurt at first, but then I realized it was probably for the better. I still think of him sometimes, though.
Maybe he is still alive? How did you make a living?
And how did you make a living?
That was the easiest part. I healed people.
With light magic?
Yes and no. It was my magic that mended the wounds, but since mages are often met with suspicion, how shall I say, got a little creative. Frankly put, whenever I treated someone, I gave him a magical potion to drink, which was just water mixed with some harmless herb to give it color. The rest was laying on hands to help the potion's effect, which was pure light magic and how I did the actual healing.
And that worked?
Better than you'd think. People were fighting over my panacea as if I was Ellen incarnate, while cursing the evil defilers who had caused this war. Ironic, isn't it?
Hey, that's actually a cool idea! Why I never thought about that before? Like, I often were wondering, for example, how Anders in Dragon Age was avoiding detection, and it's not really mentioned in the game in any way, but when you write a fanfiction, that's a perfect idea to implement. That he was bullshitting people, that he doesn't have magic. that only a few knew that he was a mage. Because when you meet him, his first reaction is he starts glowing. So he obviously has some magic. But that's some kind of interesting, really smart way to avoid being detected as a mage. You just give them a magic potion and tell them that this will heal them while you are doing a real magic when they're not looking. I need to write it down. Seriously. Do you miss it sometimes?
Do you miss it sometimes? The vagabond life?
Well, we're still vagabonds somehow, aren't we? But I know what you mean. And yeah, I sometimes do. The wind on my skin, the vastness of the wildlands, and the fact that all you have to think about is the mile ahead of you. It's another world. There was this one night I'll never forget. I had made a camp at a clearing, set up campfire, and I was leaning against a tree, slowly drifting toward sleep. Then, all of a sudden, it started to rain. Not just the usual drizzle, it was bucketing down, drowning everything, the earth, the noise, the plants around me. My first impulse was to jump up, to find shelter, get my things into the dry. But I didn't. Instead, I saw. I don't know how else to put it. All of a sudden, there was this deep sense of peace. As if all my life I had been chasing something without knowing it myself. And in that moment had found it. So I just watched. I sat there and I watched. That feeling lasted until the sun came up. And then I fell asleep. When I woke up, it was gone.
Sounds like she met something. That sounds beautiful.
That sounds beautiful.
And a bit traumatic. But yeah, it was beautiful. I've never felt something like that again.
And what do you make of it now?
And what do you make of it now?
Truth be told, I don't know. But it changed something. Even though I cannot say what it is.
Okay, the other companion.
I must say, I'm impressed.
With Mullendeer? Yes, it's quite a sight. I still can't believe we're the first ones who found this place.
It seems unlikely, yes, but yet it happened. Iskrim, the dwarf, told me about it. He said that the rock illusion shielding the entrance vanished as soon as you spoke the words, and that it did not react to Iskrim himself.
Tell me, Tahar, what do you make of that?
It might have been a coincidence. Maybe I'm connected to this place? No idea.
Maybe I'm connected to this place.
But how? I know there is more to you than meets the eye. Something about you is different. Although I cannot say what it is.
I believe we stand on the verge of a change. Things have happened, Tahar. Things, the extent of which we have not even come close to comprehending. And they have set something in motion.
How do you know?
How do you know this? Are you some kind of medium?
A medium? No, quite the opposite. I'm an observer. As you have undoubtedly noticed, I lack the, let us call it emotional intensity most people display in their daily lives. That can be a challenge, but it also allows me a unique perspective on the world.
And to me, it is evident that the war your father started has done more than simply given birth to the purity of light. It was the first pebble in what will soon become an avalanche.
Are you talking about the Bloodburn?
You're talking about the Bloodburn.
Among other things, yes. But as I said, there is more to it. All this, your journey, your role in what Rondar Lacane believes to be a vision sent by Aenir. It is only the beginning. But let us continue this discussion when I can give you more than vague, semi-prophetic statements.
All right. We'll talk later.
Why? When?
When something comes up. I'll go prepare for our next mission now.
Understood.
Yay! Okay, Iskrim.
Made yourself comfortable?
Comfortable? Believe me, being comfortable is the last thing on my mind right now. Just look at this place. A Shaper city. Don't you feel it too? This sense of divinity?
I do? Not really. You seem to be excited to be here.
I do. It's beautiful.
Indeed it is. Tahar, I'm not sure if you understand how much this means to me. The forgotten city of Mullendeer, the heritage of the Shapers. Since my childhood days, I've dreamed of this. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, thank you. You and the Harbinger have made this dream come true.
We did this together. You're welcome. Don't forget that we are here for a reason.
Well, all we did was save you from the orcs. You were the one who found the entrance.
You make it sound as if saving me from those greenskins was an easy feat. It wasn't. Anything else I can help you with? If not, I'd like to take another look at that rune Lacane gave us. It's at least as amazing as this place. Tahar, may I help you with something?
Oi, oi, so many stuff. What do you think of the Harbinger?
What are your thoughts on the Harbinger, Rondor Lacane?
Well, he's my employer. Without him, I wouldn't be on this mission. Or, what do you mean?
I was trying to say, how do you feel about what he stands for? The purity of light, Aenir's return.
Oh, that. I'm not certain I have an opinion on these matters.
Don't you care who you're working for?
Don't you care who you're working for?
Truth be told, not that much. Making a living as an archaeologist is hard enough as it is. I can't afford to be picky. And in all honesty, aren't Lacane and his fellows just more of the same? There have always been cults who weren't happy with the Guardians and believed they had found the true and only God. There was even that one who believed in a sort of schizophrenic God, who was both the trinity of three different beings and the singular omnipotent God at the same time. However that's supposed to work. Sounds funny when you think about it, but those lads were dead serious.
He just made fun of Christian God. Does the Harbinger know you feel that way?
Does the Harbinger know you feel that way?
No, I guess not, but he doesn't need to know about that, does he?
No. You don't believe in Aeonir's return then?
So you don't believe in Aenir's return, in the new world?
No, I don't.
But there's truth to what the purity claims. The Guardians have been unusually silent.
Yeah, because maybe they finally realized how silly and ungrateful most of their creations are and decided not to bother anymore. What I'm trying to say is, there could be all kinds of reasons why they've withdrawn. And I doubt a bonkers robe-wearing lad such as Lacane knows the answer.
I can stand behind that. I think the purity is harmless.
So you think the purity is harmless?
Of course they are. And like any other fanatic, he and his fellows will go down once people realize his God doesn't have all the answers.
Lacane is different. The purity is powerful. Good point.
Maybe you're right.
I certainly hope so.
Where did you meet Lacane?
There's something I've been wondering about. How did your cooperation with the Harbinger begin?
Well, that was simple. I was in Everlight at the time, on request of a nobleman. He'd hired me to do some work on an artifact collection of his. One night, a courier contacted me and gave me a letter. The message outlined the mission and the pay, even though the latter was almost irrelevant to me once I realized what it was that Lacane wanted me to find.
Mullendeer.
Yeah. You know the rest of the story.
So you really are an archaeologist?
How does one make a living as an archaeologist?
Good question. One I usually prefer not to think or talk about. To be honest, it's a tough life. For some obscure reason, only very few scholars take interest in the Shaper or the Hibernian culture, even though there is so much to be found. It's a shame.
What is there to be found?
Like what? What is there to be found?
What? You mean apart from monumental steel constructs, ghost warriors, and a city full of ancient secrets to be discovered? A lot. But that's another topic.
How do you explain that lack of interest?
How do you explain that lack of interest?
Well, what do you think? Ignorance. No matter if it's orcs, elves, dwarves, or humans. We're all terribly bad at learning from the past. Blast it, there's so much to be found, so much to be explored. Not just riches, but the technology, wisdom, and ancient secrets. But no, for some reason, the people with the coin just don't care. The only ones who even try to access this treasure are incompetent amateur treasure hunters, who usually get their heads chopped off by the first defense mechanism they walk into.
Ooh. True. True, it's a pity.
True. It's a pity.
Well, I suppose that answers your question. The life of an archaeologist is hard, and there have been times where I questioned if all the sacrifices I've made were worth it. Yet, here I am now.
How does a dwarf end up in a North Thunder?
I've been meaning to ask you, how does a dwarf end up so far from the Windwall Mountains?
Let's not talk about this now, shall we? Maybe later.
All right, sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No sweat, Tahar. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Found out anything new about the room?
Found out anything new about the room?
Well, nothing major, but still.
Yes?
I think that with the way we're using the rune right now, we're basically only scratching the surface. There's so much more it can do. Just think of the Ghost Watchers. What drives me mad, though, is that I just can't seem to figure out the details. It's like holding Nihal's hammer in your hands and not knowing how to use it.
I see.
Okay. This armor you're wearing, is it from Windwall?
That armor you're wearing looks quite special. Is it from Windwall?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's from Windwall. I forged it myself. Why do you ask?
Well, our smiths might be able to forge you a better one. It looks quite worn.
What? No. No, that's not gonna happen.
Why not?
It means something to me. But if it's my protection you're worried about, I can do some work on it myself. You'd have to cover the expenses, though. I'm a bit short on material these days.
Fair enough. I'll let you know if I have some resources to spare.
I found some materials. Could you use these to update your armor?
I found some materials. Could you use these to upgrade your armor?
Yeah, wait. What's that? Nihal's hammer. This is amazing. No, more than that. This is phenomenal.
I don't follow. What's so special about that thing?
This thing, as you call it, is part of an artifact. One that the scholars have been writing about for centuries. It might be possible to reconstruct them, and that... I can't even begin to imagine what that would entail.
Cool. What is it that fascinates you about the shape?
What exactly is it that fascinates you about the Shapers?
Oh, Tahar, that's quite a topic. I don't mind sharing, but are you sure you want to go there?
I am, tell me.
I am. Tell me.
All right. Well, where do I start? You see, the Shapers have always fascinated me. They're all over Io. These remnants of a once so glorious civilization. Yet for some reason, so many people are almost oblivious to it. On the one hand, of course, that's very sad. On the other hand, it also makes it a lot more exciting. It's like I'm a treasure hunter, only that everyone else fails to see the treasures around us. Tell me, Tahar, when seeing all of this, don't you sometimes feel like you're exploring a childhood dream? The kind of world the poets and the bards always spoke of?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes, yes. It's dark, but also fascinating.
Absolutely. But this childish fascination was only the spark. The more I studied the Shapers, the more enthralled I became with their culture. Did you know that at the pinnacle of their existence, they ruled over all of Io? A global empire with no one to oppose them.
You seem to consider that a good thing.
Oh, good, bad, the world doesn't work like that. Of course, there are writings that hint at the fact that the Shaper Empire wasn't all rainbows and unicorns, but still it was stable. And it persisted for tens of thousands of years. Can you imagine? All this knowledge, all this art, all this wisdom. Nothing in the Io of today can match that. Nothing. It's like comparing a sea full of secrets with a puddle of muddy water.
Okay. He's really driven. How did their empire come to be?
And how exactly did their empire come to be? They must have conquered quite a few nations.
They had the liberty of being the first living civilization on our Io, at least as far as we know. That made it easier to maintain peace and stability. Until the end and the dragons.
Dragons? Would I be afraid? Didn't the Shapers use slaves?
My father always told me the Shaper Empire relied a lot on slaves.
What? No, that's rubbish. The Shapers had castes, yes, and it's probably the lower castes your father was referring to. But to call these slaves is like calling, say, a tanner who was born outside a royal family a slave, just because he'll never be a king. And even the very lowest caste, the Zalanyur, always had enough to eat, a roof over their heads, and could, without paying a single coin, get themselves healed by a cleric if they needed to. So if you think that's unjust, go ahead. Ask an Everlight beggar which era he'd rather live in. He's not a slave, yes, but in some ways he's worse off.
How do you know all this?
How do you know all this?
Some of it from writings, some of it's just connecting the dots. I know how many scholars are out there at the universities giving their talks about the inscrutable empire, but it's not nearly as inscrutable as they say. Their problem is they're trying to understand the Shapers by reading books and dusty tablets. That's not how it works. You need to get out there, into the field. And even if it takes years of fruitless digging, eventually you're bound to stumble onto something. Another piece of the mosaic.
Very poetic.
Because it is.
And yet they died out.
And yet they died out.
Yeah. Great mystery.
Most scholars think it was the dragons.
They do, but I doubt it. You saw what the Shapers were capable of. Even a race as powerful as the dragons couldn't have wiped them out. And you see the shape this city is in, Tahar. There's no traces of fire and destruction. But regardless of what it was, it doesn't change the fact that the way the current races of this world treat the Shapers is nothing short of pathetic. They were greater than we'll ever be. But instead of studying this greatness, we ignore them. And why? Just because it doesn't fit into our religion, our traditions, or whatever reason they can come up with. Because to many, admitting what a marvel the Shapers truly were would mean admitting that our culture is pale in comparison.
Is our world really that bad?
Is our world really that bad?
That depends on your expectations. We could do worse, certainly, but if this is as good as we can get, then I have nothing to feel but pity.
You're idealized. I agree we could learn from the Shapers. That's all remains to do.
Maybe you're right. There's a lot we could learn from the Shapers.
There is. In any case, I suppose you found your answer, haven't you? This is what fascinates me about the Shapers. They're a reminder of what we could be, if only we wanted to.
I see. Well, thanks for the explanation, Iskram. I appreciate it.
Wow. Mister, I could have married you. I like a man that is passionate about uncovering secrets.
I'll take a look.
Ooh. On your travels, you will find different parts of armor and weapons that can be forged into unique equipment at the smithy in Melandia. Interact with the smithy to open the crafting window. Select a recipe for a piece of equipment on the right side. If you have all the required parts in your inventory, select the craft to create the equipment. Okay. Now, when I find all of the materials, I will be able to do it. No, 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 no. We are not doing the work. We are gaining additional allies. Let's save. And we will go to the next closest location. I was planning to gain all the races that I can. So first we are going for orcs, and then we are going for elves. Foot of Bargagor. Power struggle site. Travel. Hero and faction selection. Before heading out on a mission, you can decide which heroes and army to take with you. Select your heroes to fill your hero party slot. Just select them to remove them from their current hero party slot. Some missions allow you to take an army with you. Choose between your unlocked armies at the top center. If you want to choose another mission, use the world map button. Once you're ready to go, press the toggle. Okay, Iria and Iskrim. I can't take another person. Do I have any armies though with me? I don't see any.
In the shadow of the eponymous mountain lies the wasteland referred to as the Foot of Bargagor. It is home to the orcish tribe called the Firewielders, as well as to many unforgiving beasts, from the undead to demons. While most travelers stay away from Bargagor for this very reason, the Firewielders cherish their homeland's perils. According to orcish culture, only through constant conflict and danger can a people stay strong and persevere.
All right, here we are, the Foot of Bargagor.
And you still think this is a good idea?
I don't think we have a choice. We need all the allies we can find.
Sure.
If it isn't the dreaded Corporal, I was just about to go on my own.
Well, you're in luck. It turns out we do need an ally. Troops, to be precise.
I had a feeling. And yes, I can help you, provided you help me first.
That was the deal. What do you want?
Your help in preventing a war.
Preventing? I don't mean to be rude, but aren't your kind usually the ones who start them?
That's what most people think. Let me explain. The leader of our tribe is planning to reignite an old war. The War of the Six Races. In other words, he wants to send this world back into chaos. It's stupid and dangerous. But many of my brethren fail to see that. Krell tells them that our tribe has become weak, and that by invading the Nortander and the Elven Empire, we will teach the world to live in fear of us again, as it should be. What they don't see is that no one would benefit from this war. The Firewielders would be wiped out. That's as sure as the sunrise. And both the humans and the elves would suffer greatly from this. Krell tells them that we'd be honoring the struggle. But we wouldn't. It's the act of a fool.
Yay! The struggle?
The struggle.
Ah, right. Sorry. I forgot that I'm talking to a pale skin. The struggle is the core of our culture. At the heart of everything that lives, there's conflict. The wolf hunts the deer runs from the wolf. Without the deer's flesh, the wolf dies. But if there were no wolf, so would the deer. Why? Because without an enemy, it would breed with no constraint. It would procreate until there's no more plants for the deer to eat. Their peace would be their doom. And it's the same with every being. Where there's no conflict, there's stagnation. And stagnation leads to downfall. This is why there has to be the struggle. But we shouldn't discuss this now. All you need to know is that Krell's actions are a threat. Not only to the orcs, but also the other races.
I just thought about that this argument is sometimes used for humans to justify killing entire groups of people. And people who use those arguments usually don't understand that as far as it is applicable to animals, it isn't applicable to humans because we are a different type of animal. Like, we are still an animal, but in our society, we naturally come to breed less the more rights and independence women gain. So every very well-developed country is struggling with less and less children. But instead of trying to change the system to accommodate the fact that this is a natural progression for humanity to have less and less children, the government starts to try to force women to have more babies, which is barbaric because they started taking away the rights and stuff. They don't understand that that's a virtue of human race, that when we are all free and independent, our race stops having tons of babies because they are not needed anymore, and that requires the change of the system to accommodate less young people and more old people. Like, a lot of countries has this system in place where young people work so the older people could have decent old days when they are getting money from the government, you know? But that system is not sustainable when the country becomes very well developed because there is not enough young people to work so the older people would live comfortably. So the system needs to change. But they don't want to see that. Why then?
What is this Krell hoping to gain from it then?
Well, there's two reasons. First of all, the blood burn.
So the orcs are suffering from it too.
Yes, not as much as you humans do. But there have been outbreaks in some of the tribes. Krell claims that the humans and the elves have manufactured it to wipe us out. Which is why that war would be justified.
That's absurd.
Yes, and he knows it too. But that doesn't stop him from using it to rally the clans behind him nonetheless. And that's the second reason. Krell is a self-obsessed fool. He became High Chieftain with lies and false promises. And people have started to see through that. So now he has no choice but to act.
Sounds like that Krell is a certain type of leader that is bullshitting stuff in order to do what he wants. Because truth doesn't matter. What's your plan?
I see. And what do you intend to do?
Stop him. Orc culture is based on two pillars, strength and wisdom. And I will show him the power of the second one. By allying with a human and defeating Krell, the Fire Wielders will see that even an unlikely alliance can result in strength.
So you want to fight him?
Challenge him. But since he's a coward, I doubt he'll accept. Which is what you're here for. There's a second plan if the first one fails.
And in return I will get troops?
And in return, I'll get troops.
Yes. If I stop Krell, I will have the whole Fire Wielder tribe behind me. And I'll give you enough orcish craftsmen and warriors to support your cause.
Okay, I agree.
Agreed. When are we planning to challenge him?
Now. He has agreed to meet me. And I was just about to leave. Ah, one more thing. What's your name?
Tahar.
Good. Then let us be off Tahar. Krell will meet us northeast from here.
So, he's my companion now. He has a shapeshift. Focus, cost, ability. Self-target bone. Natural mind. Shapeshift into a wolf. Shapeshift into a bear. Summon and token that inflicts magic damage to all enemies around it. Summon a token that applies impairs and weakens to all enemies around it. Deal bonus damage attack damage against the light races, humans, dwarves, and elves. Each part of all outer attack damage. Protect sound. Detonate works. Okay. Speed of dark. Okay. These are these willpower, willpower, intelligence, willpower. Okay. The guy needs an armor, I guess. I have an armor for you. That's good. Internet attack.
Zalraka.
Huh?
Watch out, undead.
Nice. Love it.
Sure.
I love undead. Okay. How did you work on that, though? Ooh.
I need him. You read my mind.
That was unfortunate.
Huh?
They will fall.
I'll take a look.
Yes?
Will do.
You got it.
We can travel that.
Good move.
Good move, my ass.
As stupid as their whole damn tribe.
Shut up. He's here. Gore, what's the meaning of this? Who are these paleskins?
My allies. I'm here to challenge you to a duel, Krell. I will be the new High Chieftain of the Fire Wielders.
I hope this is a joke.
No. You are a danger to our race, and I won't stand by while you drag us into chaos. Once again, I challenge you to a duel, here and now.
Kill them, and feed their corpses to the undead.
Just as I expected. Bloody coward. Time for our second plan.
Which is?
We'll storm his cow.
What's a cow?
His homestead. His camp. If he doesn't want to face me like a child of Zarak would, we'll force him to.
Isn't there another way?
Is this really the only way? Can't you, I don't know, talk to him?
About what? His delusion? Believe me, I've tried that for months.
But we can't take on an entire army by ourselves.
I know that, Tahar. But luckily I'm not the only fire wielder with sense left in him. There's a camp of my brethren nearby who've been sympathizing with my cause, and who promise me their support if push comes to shove. Follow me.
That's the way?
So, there's lots of closed areas here. Where are we going?
Who are you? Where's Zargo?
In a better place. You're here to rally against him, aren't you? Good thing I told him that would happen.
Get out of my sight.
Why? 'Cause you think these orcs support your cause? They don't. They only pretend to because Zargol told them to. And seeing who you choose to surround yourself with makes me understand why. Paleskins here at the foot of Barga Gore? Honestly, Gore. How low can you go?
These paleskins will do what all of you are too scared to do. Put an end to the orc who will kill us all, if we don't stop him.
And to all of us, this isn't strength, Gore, this is treason.
Shut your mouth, Tuck. Gore has done more for our tribe than any of you.
Really? Can't you see he's using you? He doesn't give a damn about the fate of the Fire Wielders. All he wants is Krell's Kyle for himself. But, as I said, it's not too late to turn back. Think about it. All you'll do is throw away your life for a traitor. Krell will restore our race to its former glory with...
I'm done with talking. Face me, or are you as much of a coward as your leader?
Balrek, you piece of shit!
Just stab him!
Die already!
For the Fire Wielders!
Scum!
It's decided.
Kill him! Kill that traitor!
For Gore! For the Fire Welder!
All right.
Let's burn.
No!
Bloody fools.
You attacked him.
If I hadn't, he would have drawn more on his side.
How can you know that?
I just do. And this piece of shit killed Zargol. He didn't deserve any better.
Sorry, but this is nonsense. We've been here for not even an hour, and all you've done so far is slaughter each other.
Are you done?
Yeah, I am.
And what now?
Well, we have what we want, a base of operations. Now this is where you come in. If you remember, I saw what you did in Farlan's Hope, leading those rosy-cheeked farm boys against the Ash Reavers and winning. That was impressive, which is why I want your advice. I'm a shaman, not a tactician.
I don't know anything about orc tactics.
You realize that I know nothing of orc tactics, don't you?
Warfare is a worldwide art, Tahar. There's not much to know, apart from our weapons and our traditions. But I'll guide you.
Will your brothers even follow me?
But will your brothers even follow me?
No, but me. And I'll follow your advice. Also, they saw how you can fight. They know you're not a coward.
Fair enough. What's the plan?
Simple. Kill Krell. In theory, we could attack right now. But he'll know we're coming. So we need to think tactics.
I'm all ears.
We need to win the other clans. The Ka, the Nook, and the Kayran. Each of them have their own specialty, which we can use against Krell.
I thought you're all fire wielder.
The clans? I thought you're all fire wielders.
We are. But unlike in your kind, a fire wielder isn't just a fire wielder. Every tribe has dozens of clans, different weapons, traditions, sometimes even different languages.
Oh, tell me about the car.
What about the car?
They are probably the most civil of the clans, which is why I think they'll be more easily convinced to follow us. Their fighting style is the most balanced. Air fighters form the core of every ambush.
Who are the Knock?
Who are the Knock?
The ones I'm most worried about. They are the most vicious and brutal fighters of our tribe, with an almost eerie tolerance for pain. Who, as you can guess, are all for Krell's madness. But I have a friend within their ranks. If we can find him, he might help us win them over.
How about the Kara?
I see. The K-Ran. Who are they?
Outsiders, who mostly like to keep to themselves. They are extremely religious and devoted to Zarok. If the lands were less harsh on lone wolves, they would have probably formed their own tribe long ago. However, they are the best hunters the orcs have to offer. They use javelins to attack from a distance.
That could come in handy.
Understood.
Understood. So how do we win them over?
There are two ways. Every clan has a champion, just as this one had Zargo. If we beat the champion, they will probably submit to our lead. Some of the clans are loyal to Krell, and will have heard of my treason by now. So they'll probably attack us on sight. In other words, blood will be spilled. Others, such as the K-Ran, may listen to reason.
So there's another way than defeating their champion.
As I said, there may be. We'll need to find out. And Krell won't stand by and watch. It'll be a while, but he'll strike soon enough. We have to be prepared. Finally, before you came, there's been talk of a strange human walking Barger Gore. He had an impressive aura. I don't know if it's worth the time, but you might want to look for him while our clan prepares for battle.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
To exist means to struggle. The orcs are a vicious horde that favor a highly aggressive and expansive playstyle. The Bloodforge serves to research unique technology. Orcs are able to build strike totems that allow them to cast powerful spells all across the map. More spells can be researched in the Shaman path. New units can be unlocked in the war pit. They can then be recruited in the Orcs' capital and outposts. Having a stable food supply is especially important for the Orcs to keep their units. So that's the rhyme. They can increase their population limit when building new outposts, upgrading their existing outposts, or researching the technology in the field.
Huh?
So there's a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff. And I don't have time to start it. Because I was did the line when I was streaming for 45 minutes, and we lost those 45 minutes for talking. So next time we'll start doing business with the orc. Don't worry, Glan, for the orc to succeed. I will have to learn their buildings and stuff. Because they're probably different than humans. Anyway, thank you for dropping by. I'll look for someone great. I don't know, who should I name? Looks like I don't have much time to choose. Oh. Ashley, combined. Hello, Ashley. Okay, let's rage first. Thank you for dropping by and see you tomorrow. I will now raise our friendly
I am going to be
raccoon.
feral and not do a
Bye
craft stream.
bye.